And welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that lovely break. Hope you are hydrated. Hope you are ready for some more 2v2 action as we have KaiZi going up against Team Liquid.
That we do indeed. Spirit and Rainer against Alaza and Kelazor. And I don't know, I feel like Rainer's a bit of a memer. I feel like he's just gonna mass mute us at some ridiculous point here, and Alaza and Kelazor are gonna be trying to deal with it. So I'm kind of favoring Team KaiZi at this point, but Reclamation, I don't know this map it's gonna affect. What do you think we're gonna see in this first game?
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of echo what you're saying about the players, I agree. I feel like KaiZi have a little bit more star power, obviously. Like, I feel like Rainer, he just coming off hot off of a win. He is looking quite good right now, especially alongside Spirit. But I want to believe that Alaza and Kelazor, even if individually they may not be as strong as Rainer, I think they may have a little bit more team synergy. I want to believe that anyway. I want to believe.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be. I mean, no Protoss already off to a good start. But yeah, you kind of, when you think of the play styles of like when I think of 2v2, like you can play Bai as a Terran player, but I feel like Mech is very solid. Like it's that defensive kind of posture that lets your Zerg teammate kind of you know do whatever they want map wise. But I feel like stylistically, I don't know. I feel like Alaza and Kelazor, if they play the way that I'm kind of expecting, is they might be a little bit prone to kind of some, as you said, some of the star power of Spirit and Rainer. I feel like as this game goes on, Rainer and Spirit are going to have a bit more of their game plan. They're going to dictate a little bit more, and Alaza and Kelazor, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping it's a very back and forth contest, but I feel like they're going to be the ones that are going to be again on the back foot, which when you're playing 2v2, as we saw in the last series, can be a little bit difficult to cope with.
Yeah, once one side has momentum, it can be really difficult to retake that momentum here in a 2v2. So I'm pretty excited overall to see kind of what they have to offer and what they bring to the table, how much experience they have kind of playing this format as well, as map 1 is going to be on Reclamation. And we have seen this before. I'm just trying to remember. Yes, Reclamation. It is, I believe, a current part of the 2v2 ladder map pool. I'm sure it's going to come to you once we do see it. These screenshots don't do it justice. It's like we need to zoom out. Show us the bases, Poppy. Show us the bases. So it looks a little bit weird here, especially because it's at a weird angle. But yeah, Reclamation has a short rush distance, and it's also one of the maps where you don't share main bases. You share naturals instead, so early aggression can sometimes work here.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like a lot of kind of success when it comes to team-based games, as I said it before, strategizing really is helpful, especially early on when you can kind of contain the variables that can have an impact on your strategy. So, like when I'm playing 4v4, like you could play 4 coordinated platinum players who do an early rush strat, and if you could be like a bunch of diamonds and masters, but if you're not cohesive, you've essentially got like 4 opponents kind of, if it's if they are separated, the mains are separated like this, you can have 4 opponents up against one at a time as you get knocked down. So kind of expect to see, like we saw here in Dark in the first game against Team Rodland, some targeting going on by the players that choose to be aggressive here, and it's going to be curious to see how the team responds, if they're both going to be aggressive, try and take the initiative, or who's going to be able to kind of not just use their mechanics, but also the strategy behind it as well.
Definitely.
But I digress. Like, here we go, spawning in the top left. It is Spirit, the blue Protoss, so the blue Terran, and Rainer, the blue Zerg. I just say blue and blue light, I'm sorry.
It's all good, it's all good. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the orange Zerg player, Alaza, alongside his teammate, the red Terran, Kelazor, as of course representing Team Liquid. Oh my god. Mate, things are popping off.
Oh, like, look at that. It's going to be Kelazor being the aggressor. this time
Yeah.
around.
Yes, I don't know if you noticed, it was a 13-12 opener from a laser. He does pull out of gas already, so we have a Link Flood that's going to be joining up forces here with a Proxy 2 racks from Kelazar.
Yeah, certainly interesting. I feel like this is a strategy that it's fast third base. Actually, might scout this, but this is a strategy that a lot of the power comes
Up!
is your opponent being a Zerg player, right? Because you know they're
Yeah.
going to take that fast expansion. You know that you know the spirit's going to be dragged down from his wall to kind of deal with helping his teammate out because you can't 1v2. No matter how good you are, it's so hard to do. And you can, if there's a huge skill difference, but Reina being a little bit greedy here, and it's going to come down to how is Spirit going to be able to help him out.
Yeah, we'll see if Rainer's going to be able to hold on, because I believe Rainer did go for a pool first. He went pool hatch. So he already has Lings on the way defensively. There we go, a Spine Crawler as well, but the Spine Crawler is going to be forced to be cancelled here. I love that a Laser and Kelazar are ignoring the third base of Rainer. They're going for the kill. They're going for the natural.
They are too, and here we go. Ling Speed now finishing up. Rain has to be very careful. His Queen is about to pop, which could maybe catch one of these Reapers, but it looks like no. Kelazar is on top of it, so Reaper. This Spine Crawler is not going to finish too, and I think this is just a compromised natural here for Rain. This is looking good for our Team Liquid players.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. Again, the players are a little bit isolated. Spirit is having a really hard time supporting Rainer right now. Rainer is just, they're ganging up on him, and right now he's on his own.
He is too, and Rainer's main is going to fall with a bit of a cheeky kind of grin there by our Team KaiZi players, but really good strategy choice here from Kelazar and a laser. Eventually he may hold as the Hellion and Reapers come out, but just looking at the drone, Rainer's got 6 supply and 1 drone.
Yeah, he's got 3 hatcheries copium as he has 0 drones right now. Oh my god, the hands are off the keyboard. He's like, look at these clowns, mate, just bullying the Zergs. Spirit does have a couple of units coming out, as you were saying. He's going to be able to force this back, but this is turning a bit into a 1v2. To be fair, Spirit can feed Raynor some resources.
He certainly can. It's 2 barracks that aren't going to be used by Kelazar, but he does have a good kind of gas count. He can go into that factory pretty safely. Rainer's actually gone up to 18 supply despite having just 1 drone. So his supplies lead trip has got 14 drones on the way.
Yeah, you can see it there. Spirit just dumped Rainer a bunch of minerals. He gave him all the minerals that he had, and Rainer just made as many drones as possible. So the comeback is possible.
Take a laser soon in drones.
Oh man, he is catching up with the laser. He's catching up. We do see, yeah, I mean, Rainer, he's kind of stabilizing, kind of.
Yeah, wow. And KP, yeah, I think he does have the 3 hatches. It's not as good as 3cc, or it could be, if you have the injects, but that's a lot of lava, and a laser's stuck on 1.5. Yeah. He hasn't kind of been, he's injected a lot into Lings. He hasn't got a lot of drones kind of pumped out. But yeah, it looks like Rainer, he's actually up in supply now against a laser, and Kelazar, he can't be aggressive because he's got to, has to what's the word, like, he has to transition. So
yeah. I mean, so there's a lot going on right now here. Like, a laser is still in a better position than Rainer just because a laser has tech. Rainer, he hasn't been able to mine any gas. He doesn't have Link speed. He doesn't have access to anything else either. So it's still a road to recovery for Rainer. He's even supply block right now, a little bit, a little bit smooch. But he's getting there. He's not out of this. So very, very nice teamwork going on here. Despite literally killing every single worker of Rainer, like he's back.
Yeah, wow. As the 3 queens come, it's going to save that Overlord, and we see Blue Flame is going to be a choice here for Kelazar. Interesting to see how Rain is going to approach this game. If he's going to try and play super cost efficient or supply efficient. He does have the 3 bases, however, and it's cool to see he's got much better creep spread than a laser too, despite losing, being down to 6 supply at one point.
Yeah. But he has to be a little bit careful here. I was kind of hoping that Kelazur would go for a counterattack, but no, he's a little bit distracted here by the Hellions of Spirit. If he had gone for a counterattack, Raynor doesn't have anything. He's been just massing drones. These are, I think, the only queens he has. Queens are okay, but like Hellions would just make short work of his mineral line. And there we go. Kelazur is on the way.
Kelzer is indeed in a blue flame, not finished just yet, but here we see it will going to be deflected, however, as you say, Vikings, some Queens, and a Siege tank coming to defend. Yeah, not the most damage done there by Kelzer, as we see Spire thrown down for a laser, so despite not being able to kill off their opponents, I feel like the momentum is still in Kelazor and Elaze's court. You know, Elaze is going for a 4th base. Kelazor expect to see a 3rd base quite soon, and we've got one on the way, actually. But yeah, as the game's kind of stabilized a bit, but I'd say that Kelazor and Elazer do have a bit more tech advantages at their disposal.
They do, but Raynor is being a little bit cheeky here. He's going straight for an infestation pit. Raynor could be thinking of going for something, one of the most cost-efficient units in the game. Is he going to go Swarm Host?
Oh, that'd be an interesting choice, actually, because if you hide behind, you know, Spirit, who looks like he's gearing up to go mech, there's a lot of avenues you can kind of attack from. Again, it's quite difficult, you know, when your opponent's got Zerg and opponent's going Hellion to find the to find the space to kind of get those Nidus worms down. But it looks like no, it's not. It's just going to be some Infestor play. So it looks like Raynor wants to go the very cost-effective route.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's going straight for the spellcasters, which makes a lot of sense right now. Like, he has to be very careful with how he spends his units. Spends his resources. Meanwhile, we do see the Hellions taking a couple of tank shots, but the majority of them do survive. It looks like we have mech versus mech from the side of the Terrans. Meanwhile, 17 mutas are on the way here for a laser. And not just that, a laser, he's tech switching. He's got a Hydrogen behind this, so it looks like he's going into mutas, and he has the opportunity to go into lurkers, maybe, as a transition.
Yeah, we've got despite losing every drone, we've got a hive on the way. For,
it's crazy.
For Elaze's infestation pits done. But keep in mind, Elaze did go for those mutas, so this is going to put a little bit of containing going on. I do like the strategizing here, as his Infest is going to rock up and potentially get a Fung while only getting one muta, but I think that Kelazor and Elazer need to just take every base they can on this map with these mutas and the map control from the Hellions, because eventually they're going to max out in Spirit and Raynor's.
Oh my god. Yeah, mate, we get the most juicy fungal imaginable. Oh my god, all the mutas are going to be going down, and that lead that you were talking about from Elazer is suddenly crumbling at the same time, though. Kelazor, he just dives on into the mineral line. He knows that he has to try and deal some equalizing damage.
Oh no, those Hellions just got minced. There are still, you know, about 7 meters out the field, so can get a little bit of damage done as well. But yeah, never want to lose units like so. Meanwhile, that Siege tank does get saved just barely, and Elaze is kind of floating a lot of resources. It looks like he's going for lurkers, so he's just saving up.
Yeah, he's banking up right now. He doesn't want to overcommit into these mutas. Maybe he didn't watch Dark last game. Maybe he didn't see. But I kind of like it as well. I'm torn here. We actually have Mass Liberator, and the auto attack here is no joke. Liberators will also be good against those lurkers as well.
Yeah, I've lost a couple games going Broodlord and just A-moving and getting like killed by Mass Liberator. Not respecting it. So yeah, Libs are... even though they're more kind of known for their siege mode, they are quite versatile, especially in the numbers that Spirit's kind of massing them up to, but they're not the greatest at locking down fast-moving units like these Hellions like.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, Spirit just doesn't have a lot on the ground. These Blue Flame Hellions have done a lot of damage. They were able to roast up the mineral lines of Raynor, and they're doing the same to Spirit, doing a great job at not just harassing, but also keeping Raynor and Spirit back at home, giving Elazer the room to remax, as he still has a massive mineral bank, but he's lacking in the gas.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of Liberators out now, which is kind of curious, because I would have preferred to see Raynor kind of go for the vertical 5th base, but it looks like he's kind of locked Spirit out a little bit here by taking that forward base. Perhaps he can use the creep to throw down some spores and spines and consolidate the position, but I don't see how Spirit's going to get a 4th base now, given the infrastructure of this map.
Yeah, and that's a little bit detrimental here when we're playing mech. I feel like the fourth base is what you need to really get going here. So Spirit is having a hard time. You can see that out of all players, like his supply is quite dwindling right now. He's been, losing a lot of units here and there. He's been losing a lot of his workers. A lot of his economy has been slowed down as well. And he's also been feeding Raynor. So yeah, he's been having a bit of a rough end of the stick here these past couple of moments.
Yes, certainly. Meanwhile, we see KaiZi has been able to secure his own fourth base. He has actually taken the one that is possible for Spirit to take, but keep in mind he's going. Actually, both players are going mech here, so yeah, it's going to be a bit hard because there's going to need to be a bit of overextension as the mech player to take that fourth base, where Alaza's already taken the base in the top right. So curious. I feel like Spirit might just have to go for a max out with Raynor and hit a timing, but against Lurkers and Infestors, it's not going to be easy at all.
Well, it's going to be difficult to max out because you know what, KaiZi and the Laser, they're basically maxed out right now. They are ready to move out in a couple of moments. We do see a Laser threatening his opponent. KaiZi is not too far behind. You can see that giant red blob on the minimap, kind of joining forces with a Laser, and
Oh my
soon they're
God.
going to push with a massive mech army.
They are indeed. Zerg mech as well. You've got the Vipers and the Lurkers, and it's pushing in. There's no chance at all. A couple of blinding clouds going down, but there's more siege tanks and Lurkers here than anything that the Spirit and Raynor can muster. These sieged up Liberators do go down, and the Ultras, they just can't move into that. This is a great timing by our Team Liquid players.
Yeah, I mean, Raynor had a lot of Vipers, he had a lot of Infestors, he just lost every single Infestor, by the way, and as you were saying, that there just weren't enough Blinding Clouds to cover every single siege unit. The Lurkers and the tanks were just a little bit too good, and it looks like Team Liquid are breaking through.
They are indeed. This forward position has now been compromised. A couple of Vipers are going to sap some energy from this Spore, but they're getting dangerously close to where these Spores are. And I don't think as Team Liquid approaches this choke point, it's going to be easy to kind of push in here because they do have those, the siege tanks and the Lurkers. It's going to be hard, but then again, it might be a little difficult to push up here as well for the Team Liquid players, but there's just not enough units on the dance floor. Like, there's not enough.
Just not enough. We do see flanking Ultras coming in there. Let's go. They're getting on top of some of these Lurkers, but it's not enough. G gets called, and Team Liquid take game number 1.
Yes, they do that.
Oh.
And game 1 goes to Alaza and KaiZi. Now taking the initiative that game. Very nice play.
Like, we must give credit where credit is due, and Raynor did a great job coming back in that game after getting knocked down to literally 0 units. It was crazy, but they made a game out of it. Unfortunately, Raynor still was just too greedy early on, and as much as a comeback as that was, it wasn't enough to overcome the losses they had earlier on in that game.
No, it certainly was not. However, it's the best of 5. You can. It's also 2v2, so anything can happen. I'm sure these players, as good as they are, maybe a little bit more. Was there no Worker Scout by Spirit and Raynor that game? I feel like that would clearly have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no SCV scout from Spirit. So, yeah, they were kind of caught with their pants down a little bit. But now we're getting into game number 2, and we're going to be loading into Emerald City, aka the green map in the 2v2 ladder map pool. And this is a map where both players share main bases.
Ooh. That means like.
Oh, what does that mean?
Actually, I was going to say easy wall off, but no, you've got a Zerg.
True.
Wondering, are they going to wall off here, or are they just going to trust their Zerg compadre to just go ham?
That's a really good question, because these early walls can be the spark of lost friendships. We're gonna see, like, in the camera, like, Raynor yelling, "Lower the depot, lower!" Just trying to like get out of his own main base. It's gonna be amazing. Of course, the other features of this map is that the natural base as well are relatively shared. They are back to neck and neck next to each other, so you can kind of defend that a little bit easier as well. And there are also gold bases nearby, near the mains.
there certainly is, like, Gold Base is always adding a bit of a twist to the game. We don't see them as often as we used to. I'm kind of glad, to be honest, because you get a little bit behind. It's so hard to kind of get back into the game. But in 2v2, a lot of the time it's less of kind of a point for a resource, more of a point for contest. What's the word? Contesting.
Mhm.
Because you don't want your opponent to get those resources, and you know that 2v2, it's one of those matches where a lot of map territory, you want to kind of control it, and you want not only for yourself but for your teammate too. It's hard when you have to prepare for so much to give your opponent extra resource, even like rich Vespian gases. You really kind of want to limit and keep a hand on what your opponents can do. So we have to see if they come into play here.
Yeah, we will see how it all comes together as we're getting into game number 2. The players are locked and loaded. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Emerald City, we have the Teal Terran Spirit alongside his teammate, the blue Zerg player Raynor, both representing KaiZi Gaming.
And we have Team Liquid Laser in the red in the top left, and Team Liquid Kelazor in the slightly yellower red in the top left as well.
Beautiful. As this time both Zerg players are going to be going hatch first.
You know what that means, like?
What does that mean?
It means hatchery before spawning pool.
Oh.
But yeah, Emerald City. This is also a cool map because I don't know. I think this is still in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, fast third base from both Zergs as well. There's pillars along the fastest kind of. It's hard to kind of see them, but there's pillars that you can set overlords on top of. So it's a bit easy to kind of keep tabs on. As you can see, on to the right hand side there. Actually, this overlord might be in a bit of trouble. I don't know if Raynor knows about the pillars. Hopefully, he does. There's another one, like.
Yeah. A laser knows about them. He's moving his overlords over. So as you're saying, there are some kind of key positions scattered throughout this map that Zerg players can definitely take advantage of and definitely feel safe as they're going to be able to spot any kind of move out here from the opposing team.
Yes, certainly as the Reaper comes in to deny this expansion. I know that Killers is probably thinking, why do you get 3 bases for free and I can't even get my natural? But I'm going to deflect that Reaper, and can I keep him? Oh, tries to jump up there. Is not going to be able to, so does lose the Reaper there. A bit of map advantage goes to Kelazor and Elazer right now.
Yeah, they have that map control. They're going to be able to move out and just get a little bit more scouting information from their opponents, bearing in mind that I believe Kelazor did go Marine first, not Reaper, so they haven't really gotten too much scouting information. Oh, as Raynor, I feel like he's upset, mate. What is that? That is a sub 3-minute Roach Warren.
We have a sub 3 minute. We have it. Is there like a code for that? Like sub 3, sub 0.
Let's get some Twitch primes in the chat.
Yeah, that fast kind of third base making sense now as we see pure injects. Keep in mind there has been no creep tumors been dropped here by either player. So 8 roaches now coming down. All that money being spent on the on the roaches, and just going to see huge influx of links. 15 roaches at the 3-minute 45. I feel like, see, the thing is like that Raynor's not even being fed yet because he can't feed until like 4 minutes 30. So
yeah,
it's a huge amount of roaches. Wow.
Oh, and he's getting a 4th base behind this, and I'm really concerned for Team Liquid right now because Kelazor blindly is going for 2 factory Blue Flame Hellion. And what a Blue Flame Hellion's going to do against these roaches?
Well, maybe you can feed, because otherwise there's no way you can get 15 roaches. I don't know. That's crazy. Can you get that many roaches this early on?
I mean, my lord. I do think that Spirit has been feeding his teammates, because Spirit just doesn't really have a lot to his own name right now. He has 3 Hellions and 1 Reaper. 100% he has been feeding Raynor right now, and Raynor, with the support of his teammates' economy, is coming in with Mass Roach.
Yeah, and the ramp has been compromised. There's not even Ling's feed here for a laser, and again, right in between both players here. Blue Flame is finishing up. That's going to be useless against these roaches. So I feel like Kellis is going to need to pull SCVs just to deal with this, and the Slowling's going to come in to try and help his Hellions to deal with those as well.
Oh, exactly. You know, here we go. Link Speed does finally kick on in. Right now, Rainer is trying to 1v2 Team Liquid. Can he do it? A lot of roaches are going to be going down, but the Lings are slowly being cleaned up. The Spine Crawlers finish!
Spine Crawlers do finish indeed, and a Siege Tank coming in as well. And it looks like, miraculously, Rainer is going to be held here.
You heard it here first, folks. Blue Flame Hellions are the counter to the roaches. We have double scans going down as well. Behind this, a laser expanded and took a fourth base. He also saved the majority of his drones as well. He did evacuate that third base very quickly. So a very solid hold there from Team Liquid. We do see them going for a counterattack.
That we do indeed. And what is
the drones?
Blue... the drones. Oh. What is it? Oh, Laser's actually going for a Spire behind this as well, so that's probably why he's got no link speed. And oh man, this is great moves by Team Liquid.
Yeah, there was nothing at home to defend. The drones, they get roasted here at the third base of Rainer. He was up to 65 drones earlier. Now he's down to 53, far behind a Laser. And Spirit, he doesn't have any tech. Remember, he was feeding Rainer, which means he gave up his own kind of future in this game. He himself has to try and catch up.
And keep in mind here that KaiZi, once getting Blue Flame, is just feeding all his gas most likely to Rainer as well. Just pumping out these mineral-based Hellions. It's when you lose momentum, you know, Rainer, he does have a good amount of roaches out here, but dealing with Hellions, it's so hard because even if you do have roaches in position, these Hellions just run right past and not deal with the units. And here we go, the mutas are now popping out 13 of them while Rainer's pumping out roaches as well. He's going across the map, but
yeah, is
he going to be able to deal 15 mutas and the spines?
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Rainer is going for round 2. He's amassing nothing but roaches right now. Once again, he's still being fed by his teammate, but roaches, they can't shoot up. The mutas are here.
The mutas are here, and he's going to take care of all these Hellions, but that's a lot of splash damage going down the roaches, and the mutas with the spines, even the Siege Tank helping out. He's going to get on top of some economy, but the consequences of dealing with the mutalist is going to be a lot worse than the economic damage you can get done right now.
Exactly, and because of these spines, the Zerg economy is left completely untouched. The hatchery is going to be going down, and roaches are still flooding on in, but they're flooding into their deaths right now. They're flooding into the flock of mutas as we speak. And that flock is getting bigger and bigger. And soon, a Laser is going to be going for a counterattack.
He certainly will. There's only so much time that you can kind of keep your opponent on their toes with roaches. It does help having, Lings, Speedlings kind of go across and buy more time. But keep in mind, KaiZi has Hellions as well, so that's not going to help too much. They have Blue Flame and a Laser. I feel like this is not looking good for Spirit and Rainer. I feel like that these two players... They're in a marvelous position here as they both work to expand behind this.
Oh, the Overlords! There are so many Overlords here. He doesn't even have to go for the middle line if he doesn't want to. He's going for the Queens. They do have 2 transfuses between them, but only 2 transfuses. The Queens are going to be going down one after the other. Liberators are coming out to help with a little bit of anti-air here, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, once that Queen backbone is broken, it's not looking great. These Lings even have free reign in the mineral line. We're going to push these meters slightly away, but it's not enough. Drones have nowhere to run to. Ooh. And there's only one Liberator for Spirit. He's got nothing else.
There's nothing else here. No, the drones are coming back a little bit too early. GG gets called. Oh my god, and Team Liquid take a 2-0 lead.
Yes.
Wow.
They do indeed. Oh my
god. I mean, to be fair, props to KaiZi, because obviously they came in with a plan and it was very scary. You were talking about it yourself, 15 roaches being built at a time. That was a terrifying push from Rainer, and I think we both thought that it was going to deal more damage.
Yeah, 100%. I thought it would have for sure, but it seemed that despite, the resources at hand, which might not have seemed to have been enough. Great positioning there. They built spines immediately. They did see that push come. Laser to take the little Overlord path. So, Overlord, what's it called? Overlord, pillar. Yeah, the pillars. And they were able to react a bit better. So I want to say good scouting there by Laser and KaiZi as well. It's just that, roaches. They're hard hitting units, but they're a bit slow, and it's hard to kind of when you're trying to 1v2, even with the fed kind of resources you have, it's hard to really punch through and get the damage done that Ling Bane might be able to do in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, you just touched on it, right? Like, shout out to Team Liquid, Alazer, and KaiZi for their amazing reactive play, kind of turning water into wine there. You know, just defending with Blue Flame Hellion, with some Queens, with Slowlings. Remember, it was halfway through the defense that Lings finally got Ling's speed, which was crazy. And the Spine Crawlers finishing up as well. So it was a very clutch hold, but we saw after we held, Team Liquid were so far ahead. You know, KaiZi had his own tech, Alazer had hatcheries and drones as well. Every single time they held an attack, he was expanding ever more. He had 5 bases towards the end there. It was crazy. And yeah, Team Liquid, again, they're kind of the underdogs. We were talking about it, you know? They don't have as much star power as KaiZi, but their strategy, their teamwork is just a little bit better here.
Player one lad. They have the power of friendship. That's how they're doing it.
There you go. They don't have the star power, but they have the friend power, mate. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go.
They certainly do. But yeah, it's gonna be curious. Polka is still a map I believe we've seen so far today. It's gonna be curious to see how they how the series goes, because so far it's been a pretty one-sided night for both of our series. So it'd be nice to see Spirit and Rain if they can throw something out. Keep in mind, these players are both fully capable. They're wonderful 1v1 players, but it just seems that KaiZi and Alazer have had a little bit better planning at the moment. It might be it's just some small basic things that Rainer and Spirit need to kind of sort out, maybe unit composition and scouting, and we could see a very competitive series going into the later half of it.
Definitely. We can see if this is the beginning of a comeback, because Polka is one of the larger maps in the 2v2 map pool. It is very maze-like as well. There are rocks all over the place. We once again share our main bases with each other. I believe this is still in the 2v2 ladder map pool. Maybe it's the one before the current one. I can't quite remember. But yeah, there's a lot of bases to be taken. So if there was a map to kind of go to the late game, this could be it.
Certainly could. But again, to be seen, these players, I assume they go into these vetoes with strategies. They might even be like strategizing right now. But yeah, we'll have to wait, see who wants to be the aggressor again, who wants to be a bit defensive. Do you think Rainer and Spirit, are they going to kind of shake things up at all, or are they just got they got their plan, they're sticking with them, they're just going to try and iron out any creases in their builds?
Oh, I wanna see them shaking things up, mate. I want to see them shaking, see them rocking. As in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Terran player Spirit alongside his teammate, the teal Zerg Rainer, representing KaiZi Gaming.
And we've got Team Liquid Alazer, the Polish Zerg, and Team Liquid KaiZi, the orange Brazilian Terran in the top left.
Oh, let's go back. As Rainer is actually opening up spawning pool first.
Wow, look at those. That pillar there, you know what that reminds me of, Light?
What's that remind you of?
Lost Temple. I don't know if you ever had the chance to play on Lost Temple.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a very long time since we've been lost in the temples, but yeah, very reminiscent, the architecture there of that pillar. Oh my god, as I guess Rainer was just a little bit paranoid. He doesn't want to get game one, you know. He's afraid that because his opponents, they're up 2-0, he's afraid of maybe a proxy, so he does open up with that spawning pool. We'll see if he commits or if he only makes a handful of lings. Actually, doesn't make any lings at all.
Yeah, it could have just been a it could have been a safety kind of aspect, but keep in mind this map is ginormous. It's actually huge. There's mineral walls, there's rocks everywhere. I feel like they just kind of gave this I don't want to insult the map. I feel like they just gave like a chimpanzee like a bunch of tools, and they just map size 99999, destructible rocks, mineral patches everywhere, kills cliffs. It's got all the features, which makes for a dynamic gameplay. It's not something that you can kind of go into and just kind of have a set strategy. You got to kind of adapt and be like water, as Bruce Lee would say. I think Bruce Lee said that.
Yeah. Be like water, bend like earth.
Bend like If you don't bend, you're gonna break. As we see, Rainer is bending his hatcheries, contorting it into a lair. So
Oh, yeah, mate, that hatchery is throbbing. And Rainer, he skipped his Ling speed for this. So two base lair on a large map like this. Are you feeling two base muta?
I think that's actually a wonderful kind of choice. Keep in mind, even though the map's huge, there's not many kind of outlets out of the base. You've kind of got the main ramp, which you see just to the right as that marine takes out the overlord. But there's a lot of kind of time for you to see opponents coming across the map. You can throw down some spines, kind of control and hold the main kind of entry into your base. The one thing I'd be a bit worrisome about is a Nidus worm, because that can just get across super quickly. And if you look at the main bases, both sets of players have a really big grey area kind of in their main.
True. And they may be looking to get a little bit of vision there, but there we go. We have confirmation. The Spire has been thrown down. Rainer is going to base muta. And you were talking about it because of how large this map is, because of how defensible this map can be as well. This does make a lot of sense. Meanwhile, once again, KaiZi is going for a Blue Flame Hellion opener. And Rainer is going to be a little bit vulnerable here, so we'll see if Spirit can protect him long enough to get those mutas out.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of Hellions coming out. Blue Flame is in the way for KaiZi, and the Lings for Alaze as well. It's just throwing down his own kind of lair. Kind of a rule of thumb, like, if your opponents aren't being aggressive, they're doing something most likely either greedy or very safe. Either way, it doesn't hurt just to poke and check out what your opponents are doing. But KaiZi sees a bunker, sees the Hellions. That kind of tells him that Spirit is going for, something a little bit more techy, something that is a bit safer. It's a weird light because a bunker means I'm safe, don't attack me. But as you get higher up in the ladder, you kind of realize it means I'm doing something greedy, attack me.
Spirit just fed all of his gas to Rainer. Spirit just gave him all his gas, mate. He's just feeding him for the mass muta. We have 14 mutas on the way, and this has been unscouted.
Oh, looks like they're going to try and break down this mineral wall. Oh, there's only one mineral. Is that that's... Did they both probe scout and, like, take out
yeah,
No, wait.
That's big brain. Let's go.
Oh
the Lings, they're flooding on in. The wall is not a wall, but is this too late because the mutas are already out?
I don't know, like, the mutas are out, but it's a lot of Blue Flame Hellions and Lings. Alazer does need to kind of keep his Lings away from the Hellions of Spirit, but yeah, you're just going to overrun them. When you're going for 2 base openings, like, you can't afford to take as much economic damage as a regular opening.
Yeah, but you know what? Is he 2 base or is he really 4 base because of Spirit giving him all his money? That's the real question. The natural base here of Rainer is left completely untouched. And now look at that massive flock of mutas. God.
That is a lot of mutas, actually. Like, yeah, good stabilization there. Spirit at 34 supply and Rainer at 104. And jeez, keep in mind, as more harass is going down at Spirit's unnatural, like, with a muta-based strategy, like, gas is a limiting factor. When your economy gets stifled like this for Spirit, it isn't all. You just feed your Zerg body.
Yeah, he's pulling a hero. He's pulling a DPG. The mutas, they come in and they're going to be able to dive on top of this tech structure. It is going to go down. At the same time, we do see that KaiZi once again gets in with his Blue Flame Hellions, crippling the economy of Spirit. But what is the answer to the mutas?
I do believe that Alazer was able to kind of build some Corruptor sets before it went down as his Hellions come in. Nothing being built out of this. I don't know if KaiZi fed Alazer, but either way, he's going to have to fight with the Queens and Corruptors together. As we say, it was actually mutas that were made by Alazer, so I don't know. I feel like Rainer's just going to be able to clean up over here.
Yeah, I think the mass muta is just going to end the game. Oh, we have a lot of Queens to support those mutas of Alazer, to be fair, so maybe he can pose a bit of a threat here to the mutas of Rainer. Meanwhile, I believe the Hellions across the map have indeed been cleaned up. Rainer is still looking quite healthy when it comes to his economy, and KaiZi is on fire. Not in a good way.
Yeah, no, I really think like Alazer needed to kind of go Corruptors there, maybe snipe a muta to back up Transfuse, because this map's huge and that the Queens just can't keep up, and the mutas can't fight on their own. And the Spore Crawls is a good touch, but keep in mind, like, Rainer's economy is just Well, it's not his economy, it's more his supply. It's just going crazy. Like, he's defending at home as well as being aggressive.
Yeah, he's got 2 flocks of mutas, mate, and either one of them can end the game. Still no spores in the main base, by the way. The mutas of the laser get caught out. GG gets called, and KaiZi Gaming fights back, tying up or fighting back and putting a point on the board.
We are at 1-2.
Oh,
Damn, interesting series.
yeah, that was a wild strategy. Like, it was kind of 2-base muta, but not really, because Spirit gave him all of his own money. It was 4-base muta at a 2-base muta timing. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was it was kind of atypical. It was a typical way to kind of play that map. You know, Blue Flame Hellions, Lings, mutas, but it was kind of like it's like who can cut corners the most, who can be greedy the most to really take advantage of that play style and eke it out, because it's just like playing a mirror matchup, right? If you're both doing the same kind of strategy, whoever can get those little advantages helps out heaps, as we saw a bit more aggression this time at Teed Liquid, where almost was able to break Team KaiZi, but Reina, he took it like a champ, cleaned it up and got across the map and sniped the Spire before a laser could really kind of consolidate his own muta defense.
Exactly. Very well done there by KaiZi Gaming. I love that they're also, in a way, utilizing the tools that they have available in 2v2s. The ability to be able to give your resources to your teammate. They tried it with that Rochel in on Emerald City, not quite working out. But on a larger map like Polka, to be going for those mutas, it really did make a lot of sense. It was really smart. It was unscattered for a long time as well. So a great cheeky way to come back, but it was also a little bit gimmicky. I don't know if we're going to see that strategy again.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I feel like it was a strategy that was very kind of dependent on the architecture of the map. Lots of little crevices, and keep in mind that Lings that actually came in the back door just by dealing with those. I don't know if there was there meant to be like extra minerals. Like, were they mined at the start of the game?
Yeah, or... I think they were. Yeah.
Man, that's so Chad. The ones that I hate, like, when there's like minerals in the middle of the map, and they've got like 15 each, so you got to mine it like 3 times, and then there's like two lines of them. It's like not even worth it to. I don't know.
Oh my god.
We're going into
some Golden Wool vibes.
100%. Now, Light, I need you to pronounce this set number 4. What is this map?
Catalyst.
That's pretty boring. I was expecting some cool, like, Spanish pronunciation.
What? Like what? Like what? Give us an example.
Catalesquique. Squeak. I don't know where the kike comes from.
Catalesquique? What?
Catalesque. I don't know.
Beautiful. It's okay. You're Italian. You can say that. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we were, the Roman Empire did. Going back to the Rome again, like they did, inhabit Spain at some point. So
there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Can confirm Chase did take over Spain in Total War Rome. Did happen.
Yes. Who needs to be cultured when you can just like exterminate all the other cultures?
Yeah,
that's historically what happened.
That's the best way to do it. Oh my god,
history is cruel. Like, speaking of history, 2-1. See, look at that little callback. Do you think the ball is in Elazer and Kellis's court? Because historically in this series, and by historically I mean going back like 30 minutes ago, they've been playing very well.
Yeah, that is 30 minutes ago. That is history. That is
history.
They have. And what I will say is that, again, I feel like that game on Polka was, a strategy that just went unscouted. It was difficult to kind of go up against. They were dealt a bad hand. And I'm sure that they're going to be that much more on top of their scouting here in game number 4. Let's go. They're still on match point. They still only need one more to become the victors here in this match. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the teal Terran player. Their opponents, we have Spirit alongside the blue Zerg Rainer for KaiZi Gaming.
And we have Elazer, the Polish red Zerg in the top left, and Kelazor, the orange Brazilian Terran player, in the top left as well. Like,
There we go. And this is a very special map, by the way. I believe this is a TLMC 2v2 map. This was not ever on the ladder map pool.
this map looks huge and open.
Big. Very big.
It is very big. Looking at it though, it does seem like the first, at least 3 or 4 bases reasonably easy to hold on to.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I can't say I favor one kind of, one team over the other because they're both the same kind of. They're both Zerg Terran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their playstyles may differ from time to time, and I imagine right now we're just looking at Spirit and Raynor at what kind of crazy strategy they're going to go for. They've already tried the feeding a couple of times here. We'll see if they do it again. Raynor, it looks as if he's going to be okay. Yeah, he should be going for his third base momentarily as well. Nothing too crazy here. A laser getting his own third much faster. Raynor having a decent amount of minerals banked up. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, mate, there's no third, and now we see why.
Wait, where?
From
Lair. Like I couldn't see. Like,
that's okay.
Yeah, there's a lair on the way. Do you know what that means, like?
He's gonna do it again.
I mean, if it's not broken,
It's pretty broken.
I mean, if it doesn't work, if it does work, I don't know. Why fix what's not broken, right?
Exactly. Is this strategy a little bit imba? We're here to find out, as Raynor is going for a very fast layer once again. He skipped Ling's speed, and he may be looking to go for 2-base Spire once again. We'll keep an eye on things because you were talking about it last game. It doesn't just have to be a Spire.
No, it could be Swarm Host. And looking at this map, there are a couple angles you can kind of come in, but I'd expect to see Muta again as we see the Spire kind of thrown down by Raynor. And yeah, I'd expect maybe to see, again, a bunker and some Hellions going down for Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit's job is going to be to try and defend their economy, defend their bases. Meanwhile, it's just feed all of his gases directly to Raynor. I'm a little bit concerned here. We need a little bit of scouting from both Kelazor and a laser. Team Liquid have to figure out what is going on.
I'll tell you what's going on, like, it's going to be Mutas again. Yeah, little skirmish here. Not the most important because we have one team kind of going for air. 10 drones, 12 drones coming for a laser, but yeah, that layer is a little bit later. And keep in mind, again, this is something that I feel that players, at least, I don't know if it's just too hard to get units across the map to scout with, but I feel like a lot of how these players are playing is they're just going by feel. They're not really kind of scouting per se, which is interesting because in 1v1, scouting's super important, and it's still important to an extent in 2v2. But you just got a bit more leeway because if you don't prepare for something, hopefully your teammate are prepared for it. But
yeah. I'm just so concerned here. I mean, Elaser's being giga greedy, by the way. He's been doing nothing but droning, and he took all 6 of his gases with his lair. It looks like Elaser is also going to go for a Spire. He's better set up to go into mass Muta as well, but as we can see, Raynor is making 14 Mutas at a time. He was fed once again by Spirit. Spirit just giving him as many resources as he can spare.
Yeah, and some very kind of passive Hellion use here by Kelazor. Doesn't really want to have to dive in. He has maybe just waiting for the blue flame before diving, but by that time, yeah, the Muta's going to come out and he sees it now. He does have a Spire on the way, and keep in mind, Kelazor, he did go blue flame, but he hasn't invested too much of his gas otherwise, but it's going to be hard to see,
Yeah.
Can they deal with this initial wave of Mutas?
These spores are late, by the way. I don't know if there was a little bit of miscommunication there, but I feel like the spores need to be a little bit faster. Regardless, we do see the Mutas going straight into the main base of Kelazor. Once again, force all the boys off the line, and the spores just aren't ready.
No, they're not indeed. One spore will finish up. No creep connected between the bases. These queens must be careful not to get caught off creep, and it's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to get taken out, unfortunately. These Hellions, there's a large amount in the laser as well in the base, and they're compromised without the Mutas own to defend this time. Like, I think this might be a good move here for our team.
Yeah, Exactly, even though the mutas are actually doing a lot of damage across the map, at the same time, Spirit's natural base is completely exposed. It is completely forfeit as well, so this time, both Alazer and KaiZi are dealing much more critical damage.
Yeah, and the laser just started 14 meters at once. We do have some turrets coming out too. The meter flock here of Reyna is bruised up, but there's nothing to kind of keep these Hellions at bay. You can't even repair with SCVs. They're just going to get blue flame down. And I think with the meters coming out at home, this might be a hold here for Team Liquelaser.
Alazer, let's go.
Alazor.
Yeah,
Alazor.
the muta count is very comparable here to Rainer's. Now, Alazer is fighting back. Sure, they may have lost some queens, they may have lost some SCVs, they may have lost some drones, but Spirit lost a lot more. And now we have a much more competitive game. The economy of Alazer was almost untouched. Rainer is looking to fight back. He's once again applying a little bit of pressure. He's forcing Alazer to stay at home.
He is indeed. These mutas, they have regened up quite a bit, but the onus is now on Reyna to get some damage done. And when you have to get damage done, you have to expose your mutas to a bit more of a risk, a bit more threat. And so far, he's doing quite well, doing a bit of damage on this command center. But the muta flock, it looks like Reyna, he still does have this advantage. He's going to take this command center out.
Oh my god. So even though Spirit may have had no mining at his natural, KaiZi as well is struggling. I feel like the Terrans are here just to like cheerlead. You know, they're like, you can get him, guys. And it's really just turning into a Laser versus Rainer.
Certainly is, as we see. It's the Terrans are kind of how can Terran how can they help the Zerg brethren here, because it really has turned into just a ZBZ as the engagement is securing now.
Oh my god, we do have a couple of queens to support, but Rainer did have the numbers advantage. Will lose that advantage though here. 22 mutas versus 21 mutas of a Laser. The Cyclones are coming in.
Yeah, the Cyclones are supporting it. It looks like maybe Rainer's going to be able to. They're going to turn the tide here, but keep in mind the economy of a Laser, and it's much better than Rainer's, but Spirits is better than KaiZi's. But yeah, unfortunately, Cyclones, they do get isolated. Need to be a bit careful, but it's a close one.
It really is a close one. Again, a Laser is in charge of the defense. KaiZi is sending every single one of his Hellions across the map, but the wall is a wall. The Hellions do not come in, but at least this does force the mutas back in. Ooh, Spirit is left alone.
He is left alone indeed, Light. And unfortunately, though, it looks like KaiZi is just massing Widow Mine. That's a kind of a cool strategy.
Yeah.
Maybe bait Zerg opponent in a bit, but yeah, Drilling Claws might be a good addition. It's kind of
Definitely. Like, I love these Widow Mines, by the way. They do provide a lot of support. They're a little bit hit and miss. They can also deal some friendly fire, so a Laser has to be a little bit careful with those Widow Mines and how they are utilized. We do see the Lings drawing away the attention of the mutas of Rainer towards the right-hand side. Meanwhile, a Laser is slipping in right through the middle.
They are indeed going to run in here, but yeah, it's the kind of advantage though is it's a huge map, right? So even though defender's advantage is generally an okay thing, but in this case it's huge as these mutas actually get caught of a Laser. You see a bit of stop-start micro from Rainer, and I think a Laser might have overextended here slightly.
Yeah, a Laser just lost half of his mutas. He's trying to draw Rainer in! Up!
Oh, the jig is up now. Oh, you ran into another one.
Another Widow Mine goes off, and Rainer has a massive, he has double the muta count right now of a Laser. Rainer is popping off. He just has to be careful not to be caught out by these Widow Mines.
Yeah, and now Rainer knows, he's going to bring his Lings in. You're going to be a little bit more careful playing Minesweepers. So KaiZi are kind of banking on the fact that, hopefully their mules will run in, but again, it almost seems like the Cyclone's taking damage. Yeah, not often you see Cyclone Muta versus Widow Mine Muta.
Yeah, it's crazy. It looks like these Widow Mines are going to go down, though. Ooh, the defenses may have been breached here. Rainer laying siege upon that fourth base of a Laser. We do have a lot of Queens and some Spores, though. Ooh, and with the Queen Spore support, it looks like Rainer cannot dive.
No, he cannot at all. But yeah, there's going to be a bit of a lull now. Rainer's is going to be playing a bit of kind of Minesweeper, so KaiZi is going to have to think of some other way to supplement the muta count of a Laser. Keep in mind, though, a Laser's economy, it's a lot better. Like, both the Terrans are really kind of struggling. It's all the Zerg's caught here.
Mhm.
Ling run bys, Hellion run bys, it's all happening, like, but do you think Vipers would be an okay option at this point?
Vipers would be insane, actually. Vipers would probably win the game for whoever gets them first. I would love the idea of Vipers. Meanwhile, Thor's come in for KaiZi. He only has a single Thor, but it is here.
Yeah, it does that splash damage, sure, and that's all you need in Mutaverse Muta. You know, any little advantage, even being like the Mutaflock to hit first helps out heaps, so Rainer's going to have to back off and wait to regen before he can... Oh, he's going to jump on this Thor, though. Nice little move.
Yeah, Thor
doesn't
goes
want to
down.
get too deep.
Or does he? I mean, the Thor goes down immediately, and here we go. Muta versus Muta once again. Looking at the numbers, Raynor still has an overwhelming amount of Mutas, and it looks like that may just be it here. Thor is coming into support, and it is going to be able to get a couple of shots off.
Yeah, not quite enough, though, and it does look like the Widow mines the gamble. It's not really paid off. Infestors even would have been an okay choice, but at this point, it's with the cycling support. I think we're going to see game done, set, and match. We're going to be going to that ace match now here, like.
We are going to the ace match. 2 games in a row. This mass Muta style has worked. GG gets called, and KaiZi Gaming tied up 2-2.
True to what, like?
2-2.
Awful.
Oh my god. Yes, Spirit and Raynor, you know, they found what works for them. And what works is just make Muta.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It did work, but yeah, we'll have to see. Are they going to do that again? Sludge City. Oh, now this is a map. This is this Wings of Liberty? Surely not. This is an old map.
Yeah, Sludge City was in the ladder map pool in Heart of the Swarm.
Oh boy, it reminds me of a map called Slag Pits, which was I think that was in Wings of Liberty as well, ages and ages ago. But yeah, it's a bit nostalgic seeing these old maps. I know you're elitist. You never played 2v2 with me, so you wouldn't know these maps.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
For me, it's a throwback.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my god. Okay, so a couple of things here. Sludge City, I believe this is another one of those maps where the teammates are isolated from each other. The main bases are isolated from each other. So I do think that going to base Muta from Raynor is almost impossible. I don't think he can pull it off without receiving too much damage. So I wanna say they have to do something different here in the ace match.
Yeah, well, they can just, go back to game number 1 and just throw in a proxy or something, something clear cut. Don't let them get to this point, which is a interesting kind of it's a philosophy that, despite how blunt it is, it's pretty, just don't let them.
Yeah, definitely. Like, early game aggression, I feel like may be the name of the game. I'm just really excited to see what Spirit and Raynor are going to do. I'm going to be very disappointed if they try to do 2-ace Muta again, because I do think that it's pretty map dependent. And that last map that we had, was another kind of because they shared kind of ways in towards their main bases and their natural bases. It was a great way for them to kind of turtle on up and get away with their greed. At least Raynor did. Spirit kind of got roasted a little bit, but so did KaiZi, I guess. Both Terran players. Yeah, I think we need something else, something different, something out of left field here on Sludge City.
Well, we've kind of seen, like, the Terran players are opting for mech. Do you think going in bio could be a... we've been saying that mech's kind of the way to go in 2v2, but with this style that's really abusive, the mass Muta, do you think being able to supplement and help your teammate out a bit more than just, than just feeding them is the way to go here?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes back to yesterday. Yesterday we were casting a lot of Cyril and Time as a team, and Time kept opening up 2-1-1, and it was honestly pretty good. Like, sure, he didn't have a lot of early game map control because he obviously wasn't making any Hellions, but he was really flexing his kind of multi-prong aggression. It was really flexing his drop play as well, and obviously Marines shoot up, more than what I can say for Hellions. So I don't think that's a bad opener. I just, when I think of KaiZi KaiZi especially, I feel like, you know, even in 1v1, he enjoys his mech. Like, I don't know if he's willing to switch things up in that way.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well. Like we've been, like they both had success so far, kind of playing, playing that. Well, there's a bit of a slow start for Reina and Spirit, but they are finding, the way to go, which is this fast meter. And Laser and KaiZi will have to be thinking, are we going to be seeing, are they going to try and rush out? What if they see out a 2-base opener? What if it's a 2-base opener, but it just goes for overwhelming roach push like Reina did in game number 2, I believe it was. Like, a bit of meta is like the metagaming has to be kind of coming to the forefront of these players' minds now.
Oh yeah, I believe it does. You know, the meta games, they have to be adjusting to each other as well. And we'll see how it all comes to an end. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh my god. That's a 12-11, by the way. But in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Teal Terran Spirit alongside his teammate, the Blue Zerg Rainer, KaiZi Gaming.
And at the top left is Team Liquid, a Laser, the Polish Zerg, alongside his teammate, the Orange Terran KaiZi from Brazil. And we have, ooh.
Oh my god. So we got a 12-11 coming up here from a Laser, and we have a Proxy 2 Racks from KaiZi.
Yes, we do. Like, you're so smart.
Oh. Okay, and I'm sure they are hoping that Rainer's going to be a little bit greedy here, but alas, Rainer, yep, he's going 3 hatch before pool.
No way, is he really? Oh,
He
what a throw.
He is. Because of the gold. It makes sense. The gold baited Rainer. It baited him. He's like, yo, I'll just take the gold. Why not?
Just take the gold as your singular base,
He went 3 hatch before pool. He's crazy.
Spirit's actually scouting. Surprise! Going to be interesting to see how they kind of react here.
Is he gonna cancel a hatchery? Is he gonna cancel? No.
So Rainer must have been hoping that Laser would have taken the gold base.
Yeah.
And he's just gone for like the thresh before pool here. So bunker going down. It's gonna be a lot of onus on Spirit here to hold. A Marine would like to possibly see Reapers, but but KaiZi's going Reapers too. So.
Yeah. KaiZi's already here. There's 0 income, by the way, for Rainer right now. He has no mining whatsoever, but he's transferring over towards his pocket base. Meanwhile, boys are being pulled. He did main out over towards the gold. We have a Spine Crawler on the way, but yeah, that's not going to finish.
Yeah, this is a clever kind of, best of a worst situation for Rainer. Like, bunker going down, the gold base is going to be where you hold here because Spirit's got the close bunker, and you've also got, a bit of a safer kind of place to consolidate your forces because he's got the gold base mining. But this is, I mean, actually though, even if he loses the main, he has the gold base. Both of his opponents are on 1 base.
Yeah, exactly. Like Rainer has better mining right now than anyone else in the game. He has the gold mining. He does have a Roach Warren on the way as well. The main hatchery is going to be going down for Rainer. Rainer may lose the pocket hatchery as well. So we're going to be in a really weird 1 base versus 1 base scenario.
Yeah. It is. Wait, is that 2 gold bases on this map? Oh, I didn't realize that.
So.
Oh
yeah,
God,
2 golds. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. So Rainer actually took the gold base that was meant for Spirit.
Yeah.
That's so greedy, man.
That's what I mean. He was giga greedy, and he's kind of being punished for that greed. I say kind of. Like right now, again, he doesn't have any mining, but in a couple of seconds, roaches are going to pop out.
Oh, the Marines get caught.
Oh, they're going to get in. No, Rainer, the hands off the keyboard.
Rainer calls GG, and that's it. Spirit getting his Marines caught out of the bunkers. Oh, just had to hold on a little bit longer for the roaches, but Laser and KaiZi are going to take the game.
Wow, GG. 1 second away from the Marines diving into the bunker, but they were caught out. The Marines go down. GG. Team Liquid take it. They eliminate Rainer and Spirit.
Oh, man, what a series.
Oh.
It's like you can't. You can't go Thresh before Paul in 2v2, man.
Yeah, he's create 3 hatch before pool. Raider lost his mind. Oh my god! And you were talking about it at the very beginning of this match. You were talking about how like Rainer, he's a little bit of a wild cannon. He's a little bit he's a loose cannon. He doesn't play by your rules. He does what he wants to do. And at times, I don't think he's the best teammate for that, for that reason.
Yeah, no, I think he's a little bit too loose this time. Like that was, yeah. I wonder if Spirit had a say in that strategy, or he just went for it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Regardless, GG, well played. Shout out to Spirit and Rainer for providing a very entertaining series. And hey, they took it all the way to the ace match, something that hasn't been happening too often in this tournament. We haven't had back and forths too much, so it's always great whenever we see it.
Yeah, 100%. So far it's been a little bit one-sided until that series, so good to kind of see, like, not only when you're winning, it's pretty easy to just keep doing your strat, but in a game like that, you just know that they were thinking, like, do we take Thresh before Paul, do we gamble? Gambles have worked so far, and then Team Liquid are like, do we, like, all of them? It's a huge map, there's gold bases, it's, and I feel like even if Reyna just played like a regular hatch first, I feel like they potentially could have held that.
100%. Just a hatch first would have been fine, right? Take the goal that you want to take. Just one step too far. Rainer just a little bit too greedy there. And with that, congratulations to Team Liquid. Congratulations to Kellizer and the Laser. They are going to be moving on to the next round, where Dragon Phoenix Gaming is going to be waiting for them tomorrow.
DPG.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we have Team Trina going up against Invictus Gaming.
Stick around. Please. Please, really. No.